Most of what people say about Blender and 3D printing is wrong because most of the people talking about Blender and 3D printing don't use Blender for 3D printing. This doesn't mean they're stupid or bad designers. Rather, they're talking about a workflow that they know nothing about. So here's a few of my most asked questions and some of the advice that you should ignore when it comes to Blender for 3D printing. One of the biggest myths is because Blender isn't a parametric design software, it can't achieve a high level of precision and detail for parts and designs. Parametric design doesn't mean higher detail and more accurate modeling. Rather, it is a description of a very specific workflow. You could take two highly trained professionals in both Blender and Fusion and put them head to head on a project and come out with the same exact outcome because the workflow doesn't define the end product. If one was truly better than the other, then Blender wouldn't be used by countless companies, studios, research institutes, and even NASA. In fact, it can even be argued because of its incredibly robust physics engine, it can benefit mechanical design and validation. The next myth we hear about Blender is that parts designed in Blender have a lower resolution than parts designed in something like Fusion or other parametric software, but this simply isn't the case. Instead, you'll find that things designed in Blender quite often have a much higher vertice count than things designed in parametric software. This doesn't mean that one is inherently better than the other. Rather, your workflow has a major impact on your mesh and vertices. If you are concerned about resolution for your parts, then you really want to pay attention to your file type and not your workflow as much or your chosen software. Quite often, projects from Blender, Fusion, and others are exported as STLs, arguably one of the worst file types available, and unfortunately, the most heavily adopted. So if you're concerned about resolution and exporting, I would suggest OBJ or 3MF over STL. 3MF being the better of the three, but the least adopted. However, it is steadily growing in adoption over time. Before we continue, let's take a second to talk about today's sponsor, PCBWay. With an easy-to-use website and a team of skilled professionals, PCBWay is the industry leader in automated manufacturing. Whether you're working on a larger project or simply need a single part, PCBWay has all the resources you need for your next idea. With services like custom PCB manufacturing, CNC machining, sheet metal fabrication, and even injection molding and 3D printing. With PCBWay, it's as easy as uploading your file to the website, selecting the options you are looking for, and then submitting your project for review. And for those of you working in 3D design, you can even prototype your parts at home and then send them off to PCBWay to be manufactured out of materials such as titanium, stainless steel, and aluminum. And now, until December 31st, PCBWay is having their big Christmas sale, meaning you could save money on your next project with their industry-leading services. So, make sure to check out PCBWay today at PCBWay.com. One really weird myth with Blender would be that Blender can't make solid objects. This myth is so strange that I honestly don't even understand where it comes from, but it's something that I hear an awful lot. A part being solid has no overall effect on its geometry or mesh. In fact, a part designed in Fusion versus Blender would be exactly the same unless somebody applied a property or a modifier to solidify, and it doesn't affect the overall printability of part. It is important to point out that there are a lot of tricks you can use the solidify modifier for in Blender, but it's not really required to make your prints solid for 3D printing. And if you don't know what you're doing with it, it's probably best to leave it alone as it can warp or distort your overall mesh. Speaking of modifiers, this takes us into our next myth that using modifiers makes it almost impossible to adjust or change your design later down the road. The use of modifiers by somebody who knows how to use them actually makes it easier to make changes to your mesh. When used properly, modifiers are both non-destructive and non-permanent to your mesh. It's only when a modifier is applied that things become difficult to alter. In the vast majority of cases, there's almost never a reason to apply a modifier to your mesh. This makes it easier to adjust and rethink your design without destroying your overall part or object. In fact, because I get this question a lot in my Blender for 3D printing video, there's absolutely no reason to apply a modifier before exporting for 3D printing. When you export for 3D printing, whatever you see on the screen for your mesh is exactly what is going to export. You have absolutely no reason to apply a modifier before 3D printing. Another myth that we see for Blender is that you need to join your parts together before exporting. This simply isn't the case. To illustrate here, we'll take two different boxes in Blender, two completely separate objects, and then we'll go over and export our project to an OBJ and import it into OrcaSlicer. In OrcaSlicer, if we go to our object view, you can see that they're treated as the same object because the mesh was exported as a single mesh. So in Blender, there is no reason to join your meshes together. Quite often, it's better if you don't join your meshes. Think of it like this. If you're building a house out of Legos and along the way you're using a bottle of glue to glue all your pieces together, then that house is going to be incredibly difficult to change if you decide that there's a problem or you just want to make things different. The same thing is true in Blender. You should keep your parts and meshes separate as much as possible. Most export file types are going to treat everything in your workspace as a singular mesh. So save yourself the trouble and don't join your parts unless you absolutely have to. The next one is so wrong, I don't even know really what to say about it. And that's you can't use Booleans when designing for 3D printing. If you don't know what you're doing, Booleans can absolutely destroy your mesh. But the same could be said of all modifiers, and Booleans are one of the easiest modifiers to learn and use. In fact, there's not a single modifier in Blender that would magically make your mesh unusable if you know what you're doing. Our last myth is that the workspace in Blender isn't set up for 3D printing, and that's true. The workspace in Blender is a multi-use workspace, and by default, it uses Blender units because there are a lot of different workflows people use for Blender. To fix this, we simply change our units over to metric and then adjust our scaling. People say that the workspace isn't set up for one thing or another because honestly, I don't believe most people speaking to the merits of Blender really understand Blender. Setting up our workspace for 3D printing is something we went over extensively in my first Blender for 3D printing video. If you haven't watched that video, I highly suggest that you check it out. And if you have watched that video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Originally, I got into 3D printing because I wanted to design and make my own parts. I had a friend who was into design and CNC and machining, and he had an old 3D printer. So I designed a part that I was really excited about and sent it off to my friend, only for him to tell me that you can't print parts that were designed in Blender. All that excitement and time that I put into that part just left me feeling stupid. Why was I working on something I obviously don't know what I'm doing? I deleted that part and never printed it because obviously my friend who had been in machining and 3D printing longer than I had knew what he was talking about. But the truth is he didn't. And now I'm older, wiser, and more stubborn. The truth is a lot of things are said about Blender by people who don't use Blender. And the truth is you should never let somebody stop you from doing something because you're doing it differently than the way they think you should be doing it.